If we can't live as men, we sure as hell can die as men. A Prisoner in Attica. In 1971, America was still undergoing plenty of social turmoil, much of it the result of sweeping changes made via the civil rights movement of the previous decade and the Vietnam War, which helped spark the counterculture. Students had been shot at Kent State by the National Guard the year before, and protests were still prominent across the country. One of the movements galvanized during this time was on behalf of the nation's prisoners, who were often subjected to shoddy treatment in state penitentiaries and subjected to racist treatment, but that was naturally on the back burner for most Americans who remained free until the notorious Attica State Prison riot from September 9th through the 13th, 1971. The unfolding drama, during which over 2,000 prison inmates began an uprising inside the well-fortified facility and held dozens of staff hostage, transfixed America until the insurrection was violently put down and over 40 were dead. In the wake of the riot, New York Governor Nelson Rockefeller, who had ordered the rebellion put down, accused the prisoners of committing the cold-blooded killings that they had threatened from the outset. But others saw it from a far different perspective. While the New York Times characterized it in a more even-handed fashion and bemoaned the mass deaths that 4 days of taut negotiations had sought to avert, the prisoners were often portrayed as taking heroic and righteous stands against the system. Perhaps the most famous representation of the riot was in the commemoration in John Lennon's Attica State, during which he sang, "We're all mates with Attica State." To this day, nearly 45 years later, the riot continues to be controversial. The Attica Prison Riot, the history and legacy of America's most famous prison uprising, chronicles the fateful chain of events that led to the most notorious prison insurrection in American history. Along with pictures of important people, places, and events, you will learn about Attica like never before in no time at all.